So nothing would be necessarily different in that, and I am good washing my hands. Good afternoon, my name is Susan, I'm be your physical therapist for today. Could you please confirm your name and date of birth for me?
Name is Joshua Robinson.
Okay, and I understand you're here because you're having some back pain.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and what level would you give your pain right now?
It's probably a 5 out of 10 right now.
Okay, can you show me where that pain is?
Yeah, it's right down my lower back and it kind of goes down right above the knee.
Right above the knee, okay. Are there certain things that make the pain better, certain things that make the pain worse?
Bending.
Making it worse?
Yeah, it makes it worse. And making it better, I guess.
Okay. And I know that the therapist last time had talked to you about placing things that you use frequently more right in your middle, right around your hip, chest height, so you don't have to reach for things. Is that helping?
That helps a lot, actually.
Okay, all right. Anything else that's helping? Were you able to do any of the exercises the therapist had given you in terms of the pelvic tilts? And
I've been busy, so I haven't been able to get home.
Okay, all right. I noticed that you brought in a cane today and not the walker that you were using before. Have you used this cane before?
I have. I've been using it on and off. Seems to help a little bit.
Okay. What I'd like to do today is just make sure that that cane fits you properly, okay, and just go over how you're using it. So, a couple of reasons why we want to use that is that right now you've got your whole upper body kind of shifted over to the right side to try to get some pressure off of the nerves on the left side, okay? So we want to be able to, instead of using your body to do that, maybe have you use the cane to take some of that pressure off, because that posture is going to create some muscle imbalances that could make this worse or cause some other problems for you, okay?
Okay.
The other thing the cane's going to help you do is walk with a little bit more normal walking pattern again, so we don't create any muscle imbalances or new problems because of the way that you're walking, okay? How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
So we're going to put this up just as high as it can go. Just going to make sure it's tight. Make sure that this is all good, no wear on there, and it's nice and solid. So when I ask you to, I'm going to have you stand up, and I'm going to have you put the cane in your right hand, and I'm going to help you correct your posture and see if we can take some of the pressure off there. But before you stand up, let me just make sure that this bed is locked. Okay. So you're going to stand over here. Go ahead and stand up, please. Okay. Cane here. Now I'm just going to move the cane slightly out about 6 inches here, and go ahead and relax your hand down by your side, and then shift your shoulders over. I know that might be a little bit painful. That's pretty good. It's about at your wrist. So you can go ahead and grab the cane, and then bring your shoulders right over your hips. Okay, good. How does that feel?
Good.
Pushing down on the cane, you get a little bit of some alleviate some of the pain there. Okay, great. I'm going to show you a way to walk with the cane. You're bending your knee just a little bit. I'm going to have you move it kind of slow at first so you get used to it, and then we'll try to speed that up just a little bit. I want to go ahead and have you move the cane first, and then your left foot, and then just step right up to those two with your right. Cane, left foot, and how does that feel? What level is it?
Probably a 4.
Okay, alright, so a little bit down. This time, let me have you try moving the cane and your left foot at the same time. Good, and step right up between.
I know. That was loud.
Yes, a little mobilization. Okay, so cane and your left foot together, and then your right foot right up between those two. How's your pain? Okay. Okay, I'm going to have you turn around for either way towards me, cane and your left foot at the same time. Now, walking back to the treatment table, I'm going to have you try to take a little bit of a bigger step with your right foot, so you step past your left foot, okay? So, cane and your left foot together, right foot all the way through. Good. How's that feel? Cane and your left foot together, right foot all the way through. Okay?
Still hurts. It's probably about the same.
Okay, all right. And if that does make the pain worse by trying to take that bigger step, you can just go back to stepping right up to the other foot.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn around, have a seat. We'll assume that nobody unlocked the table while we were gone. Okay, go ahead and take the cane And let me have you go ahead and scoot around the edge of the table there. Good. And I'm going to have you lay down on your back, and I'd like you just to show me the exercises that the therapist showed you last time. Good job going down on your side and then rolling back. So,
I'm not quite sure how he had me do it. I think I had to do something with the hip.
okay, so go ahead and bend your knees up. Good. And do you remember the pelvic tilt?
I think so, where your hips go up and down.
Well, so your hips, if you're calling this your hips, you're kind of creating a little bit of an arch in your back, and then you're flattening your back. Okay, so that's where you start. And up and down. Good. And go up and then push down on my hand. And then as you go back and forth, somewhere in there is going to be a little bit more of a comfortable position for you. Do you kind of feel that where, what number would you give your pain when it gets in that more comfortable position?
It's a good 3.
Okay, so we got a 3. So what we're going to do is try to keep that at a 3 by keeping your back in that position. That's where you've got the least amount of pressure on those nerve tissues that are causing that pain to shoot down into your leg. Okay,
Right.
so the way that you're going to do that is with the muscles in your stomach and in your back. Okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to push down right around your belly button, and I want you to push back a little bit and breathe out as you push back, and see that you can kind of hold that position. Your muscles form a back brace in there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and tighten up those muscles. Does this seem familiar with the
Oh
therapist
yeah,
showed you
it's all
last
coming
time?
back to me now.
Okay, so go ahead and keep that position. I'm going to keep my hand under here because I don't want you to increase or decrease the amount of pressure on my hand. You're going to keep your back in this exact position while you alternate sliding your heels left and then right down to the edge of the table and then back up.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
go ahead and do that. Good. And keep going right and left. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Pain level?
It's about saying 3 out of 10.
Okay, so what I want to have you do now is to try to make that a little bit harder. I think you're able to hold that. And what I'm going to have you, instead of keeping your heel on the table, I'm going to have you kick your leg straight up in the air. So keep your tummy muscles tight, good, and try to straighten it up as much as you can, good, and then back down. You don't even need to lift it that high. You can kind of keep your thighs at about the same angle, good, and you're alternating that. So I know that one of the things is that your bedroom's upstairs and you've been having to sleep on the couch.
It's so horrible.
And so being
My
able
dog slobbers all over
oh
me.
no, that's not good. So being able to move your legs more up and down while you keep your back in a stable position is going to be helpful, right? To control that pain while you're going up and down the stairs, okay? So this time I want you to, again, don't increase or decrease the pressure on my hand here. Keep your stomach muscles tight and try to bring your knee up towards your chest. So that's you stepping up onto a step. And then back down, lift up, because I didn't really ask him what he wanted to work on. But I decided he wants to go up stairs.
You read my mind.
I thought so. Up and down. Now don't let your back flop around there. I'm starting to feel a little bit of, as you lift up and down, that your spine is starting to move. So tighten up those muscles and up and then down and up. Okay? All right. So we're going to do, we did 15 of those on each side. All right? How's your back? How's your pain?
It feels good. It's about probably a 2 now.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to have you go ahead and get up, and we're going to practice that, keeping your back in that position while you're upright and actually trying to lift your legs while you're upright.
Okay.
So he could be, so for my body mechanics thing, depending on what he just can't give too much away. What he wanted to do for his goal could be the stairs, because he was sleeping on the couch. He had that goal where the therapist had said, you know, move stuff down lower. And what if he said, well, there are just some things I can't move lower. I have little kids at home and I can't put the glass dishes down lower because they'll smash them all. So I need to be able to reach up high. So I could work, you know, body mechanics of keeping that pelvic tilt while you lift something overhead, or it's stepping up on a stool. You remember that from 101 where you were practicing getting stuff off the shelf and not arching backwards. So that would be my body mechanics training for him. And then I would have him walk out and demo his gait training.
So if you're demonstrating lifting, grabbing something overhead with him and he's got his cane, you just have him just lean up against the counter.
Yeah, it could be here, it could
it
be,
could
put
just be
the
hanging
loop
from
on
the
that
line.
so that it
Okay.
stays with you, or getting, leaning it against the counter, and I could have him, come over here and demo that. So, Josh, let me have you again roll over onto your side and sit up on the edge of the table, please. And just remember that log rolling, because twisting is not easy on your back. Doing all right? Any dizziness?
Nope.
Okay, pain level?
Probably about a 3.
Okay. So, what I'm gonna have you do here is we're gonna practice that same thing where you keep your back in that comfortable position. We know that with your own muscles, you can get that pain from a 6 to a 3, okay, which is half, which is a good start of getting rid of it completely. So you can do that pelvic tilt while you're sitting, while you're standing, and then I'm gonna have you first try using your cane and then just putting a foot up on the stool, which is exactly what we did with you laying down. It's just a little more challenging here. So that could be one goal, or I could say, we're gonna have you come on up to the counter and just practice. Here's your cane. And then step on up to the counter, and you can either lean the cane against the counter or put the loop over your hand. And go ahead and do your pelvic tilt, find that position. Can you get it to a 3?
There you go.
Okay, now go ahead and grab that ball in both hands and set it up on top of the counter. Okay, good. And then bring it back down. Okay, so it could be something like that.
Would you have them do it 10 times?
Yeah, could have them do it 10 times so you can demo that. I'm moving my feet there. One of the things we'll talk about a little bit with the shoulder, but could be something very similar that you could do in this case where you're working on some reaching, would be this thing, which is good for reaching and lifting, and you can put it up on the counter and you can add height on this too, but which could be, you make it really tall and you could raise up the table, but where you could have, so however many rings are on here, I think that's 15, but you could have him, doing that where he comes down and then way up and over and then down again. So you could practice that. I just was looking at that with the shoulder stuff. So we could do that. And then I'd say, okay, now I'm gonna have you walk out to make your appointment, but I'm gonna be watching you, so see if you can remember that pattern that we were using with your walking. And what's your pain level there?
Still the same, 3 out of 10.
What?
3 out of 10.
Okay. So I'm watching his posture, I've checked his pain, so I know that walking, that cane is beneficial. Any questions?
Excellent.
Nice.
So,
That was really
get in your
helpful.
body, and wash your hands, and